How wonderful. I thought, Bob, as you were speaking, that daily word, inspiration, when we believe we live in a friendly universe, we will also manifest the frequency of friendliness. That's actually what we're doing. Those of us who are friendly and outgoing, we're letting people know you are safe because I believe by right of consciousness that I abide in a friendly universe, that I'm safe and divinely protected, and I have God power. I am a spiritually activated human being. So, my beloved, the title of my talk is Spiritually Activated Humans, Trusting the Inner Voice of Resurrection. My mom, is a cradle Catholic, but just loves the Bible. And we're always talking about spirit. And Easter came, and I think it was like on the Wednesday after Easter, mommy was like, it's still the Easter season. And I said, that's right, I think so, Mom. She goes, yes, of course, because Jesus was on the planet for 40 days. He saw his friends. He appeared to a crowd of over 300 people. He healed. He was revealing inner secrets. The Gospels kind of have their ellipsis because there were things that he shared with the apostles and disciples that were secret teachings that we don't hear about. So 40 days of teaching, appearing, revealing. So we are still in the season of resurrection because that Easter Sunday is about, will you wake up and remove the stone from the calcified places? Will you get into those spaces, that the tombs or the tomb of your life where there's calcification? Will you air it out? Will you spring clean? And technically, for so many traditions of the world, the spring equinox, April, is really the new year, the start of the new beginning. So will you spring clean those calcified places in your life, calcified beliefs, calcified states of consciousness? Will you spring clean? Will you become a spiritually activated human being? So, my beloveds, we're living in a time of intensity, noise, division, uncertainty. I can't deny, nor can we, as spiritual truth students, as I call us, deny the appearance. So we accept the illusion. You break your leg, please go see the doctor. You're going through depression, please take a natural substance or a wonderful drug that is to your liking. We don't deny what is appearing on the screen of life, but we always hold the truth. So we don't deny the deaths, the crucifixions, the division, the uncertainty, the war, the suffering. And yet there's an awakening. Something is shifting on this planet. I'm feeling it, my beloveds. I'm tuning into the frequency of those who say, okay, this is happening, but I'm going to stay in this lane, the lane of joy, the lane of affirmative prayer, the lane of positive thinking, the lane of breath work, breathing in, calming the nervous system. I'm going to have ordered thinking and not disordered thinking. I'm not going to be in this vibration of anger and impatience with all humanity. I'm going to smile and be friendly and welcoming no matter what is happening, because I am a spiritually activated human being. So people are questioning, something is shifting, people are seeking, people are awakening. Life in the Northern Hemisphere is awakening. God is showing us, Spirit is showing us, like all the little flowers popping up, that there's new life, new beauty, new peace, new joy, restoration, revitalization of the body if we choose it. Nature is instinctive, it just does it. We have to choose the new spring consciousness, the resurrection consciousness in our minds. Are we willing to be reborn by the renewing of our minds? That is spiritual activation. So, beloveds, we're all seeing, it's obvious, we cannot rely on the outer world alone. If you ever thought your security was in the party that you had chosen, or the president that was, or is, or whatever, the states of the world, we are learning. We are seeing the evidence. We are in the great adventure that is telling us, we can't rely on the outer world alone. So this is the hour of the spiritually activated human. A spiritually activated human is one who listens within before reacting, one who trusts divine guidance over fear, one who moves without needing full evidence. For Jesus said, man shall not live by bread alone. It means metaphysically that we are never meant to live by the five senses alone. We are called to become spiritually activated humans. So Mary Magdalene was an example of this when she arrived at the tomb on Resurrection Sunday. She was there with the other Mary, and apparently there was an incredible angel that was sitting on the rock. This angel, there had been a little earthquake, and the angel came down from heaven. And the Bible, the New Testament, which we know as metaphysical and esoteric wisdom, said that his face was like lightning. His clothes were as bright as and as white as snow. And he sat on the rock. He moved it away and sat on it. That means spiritual dominion, spiritual activation. Are you sitting on the rock, the stuck, the hardened places in your life? Hardened consciousness, beliefs, emotions. Do you have spiritual dominion and spiritual authority over those calcified places, over the tombs in your life, those buried places, those patterns in the subconscious mind? Do you have spiritual dominion and spiritual authority? And Mary saw the angel, and then Jesus seemed to appear. There was a garden near the tomb, and she thought that Jesus was the gardener. And she saw Jesus, but didn't recognize him until he said, Mary. And she was looking at him, but she couldn't perceive him because resurrection requires a new way of seeing. Resurrection season requires a new way of seeing. You're not just going to see and understand what to do in your life at this time on the planet by just seeing the facts. Mary represents that intuitive faculty within you, the part of you that knows, feels, recognizes. So resurrection is revealed to the intuitive heart first. And they said in her heart, she recognized his voice. And she said, Rabini, Rabini. And she bowed down and worshiped him. And he said, Mary, you can't touch me. I've risen, but he was still in the field of activation. So resurrection is revealed to the intuitive heart first. Another great example in our metaphysical, esoteric, spiritual text that we call the Torah, the New Testament. The New Testament, it is a spiritual text of alchemy. You awaken when you know that there's more to the story than what you're reading or seeing or perceiving. There is spiritual, esoteric, quantum knowledge in this text, in all sacred texts. Noah. Spirit guided me to Noah. God said, Spirit said to Noah, make yourself an ark. And Noah did everything just as God, as the divine commanded. Noah was called before there was evidence. He built before the rain. He trusted before the truth. Do you guys know that the Bible says that Noah was 500 years old? I'm like, why did the priest at Catholic Mass, when I was a teenager, leave that out? And that it was it might have been 100 years before the rains came. 100 years. So all of these mystical beings, the mothers and fathers of our spiritual awakening, they were hundreds of years old. So Noah was 500 years old. And the Torah, Genesis, says that the rain happened when he was 600 years old. My beloveds, Noah trusted God 100 years before the manifestation of the flood. He trusted before there was proof. He trusted intuitively. Everyone thought he was crazy. And they say that all of the pairs of animals that he brought into the ark metaphysically represents the senses, variations of the five senses that can be, oh my gosh, thousands of different ways that we perceive life, material life, having spiritual authority and dominion over material existence. So some of you are waiting for rain, but Spirit is asking you to build. The ark is your consciousness. The building is your obedience to inner guidance. Do you have the faith to wait 100 years before there is proof of the guidance you're receiving? Some of you are being guided to change your health. You're getting that repetitive message to start yoga, to begin walking, to become a vegan, to become carnivore, to do keto. Some of you are getting the prompting intuitively to forgive someone that you have not been able to forgive, to let it go, to make amends, either call or write that letter. Many of us are being guided to a form of therapy, talk therapy, breath therapy, anything that will enliven or lighten your spirit. Many of you are being guided to write a book, to begin painting, to begin doing art, to see your family more, to reach out to an estranged relative. Guidance, guidance, guidance. God is speaking always through feeling, knowing, hearing, seeing. Your intuition is not rare. It is underused. Mary Magdalene intuitively knew that Jesus would resurrect. In many stories of the gospel, it talks about her knowing and believing. Peter doubted. Judas betrayed. But Mary, the intuitive, who represents intuitive knowing, knew, understood, had second sight, could feel, sense, hear spiritually. Noah knew, said yes. Everyone thought he was crazy. He built, he was 500 years old. It was 100 years later that the flood came. And yet he trusted that inner voice within. So, of course, my beloved, there are 5 steps to tuning in, to becoming a spiritually activated human that knows that they are a spiritual being having a human incarnation. That is the spiritually activated human. We are a community of spiritually activated humans, but we must stay on the path because the world will shake us up. Will we become an unconscious human being or remain in spiritual activation? So there are 5 steps. 1, get still. Listen with the inner ear, the spiritual ear behind the ears. Pray and listen. Get still and listen. Sometimes nothing comes immediately. Pray and listen, number 2. 3, recognize your intuitive language. Are you clairaudient? Do you hear guidance? Are you claircognizant? Do you just know without knowing that you know? Are you clairvoyant? Do you see vision, images, a poster, a commercial? Oh gosh, I've been thinking about changing my brakes, and there's a big sign on the highway about a place where you can get a deal on brakes. So you see it. Are you clairsentient? Do you sense? I just have a feeling. I have a feeling something's going to happen. I have a feeling. A month ago, a few weeks ago, I had a feeling that I needed to be with my mother. I just had a feeling to go over. And mommy was in bed, sick with an infection. And I went and I took her to the hospital. She's fine. But I had a feeling. And instead of, my phone had kind of died, and I thought, I was close to my mom's house. And I thought, let me go home. I'm not supposed to go. But I had a feeling I should go. Are you trusting those feelings? So 4, 3, you recognize your intuitive language. We all have a spiritual intuitive sense that's more dominant. And sometimes a book falls off a shelf. I interviewed someone on my show, What Would Louise Say? That's on the New Thought Media Network. And a woman said, I walked by a bookshelf and the book fell off the shelf. So sometimes we'll get hit over the head nearly by something that's trying to show us something. That's how she discovered Louise Hay. She forgot she had the book. It fell off the shelf in front of her. 4, you act before proof. I didn't need to know that my mother wasn't feeling well. I sensed it and I just went. And 5, you build trust through practice. You must practice this intuitive senses. You'll know, I'm getting that sense again. Oh, that happened last week when I was driving home and I sensed I shouldn't go my regular route. And I found out there was a 3-hour traffic jam. And I got home faster because something told me not to go that way. So this week I'm getting another feeling. Practice builds that muscle of intuition. So intuition precedes manifestation. Intuition precedes manifestation. Mary recognized. Noah responded. Now you're being called to live it, my beloveds. You don't need more information. You need activation. You just need to be activated. If you are, and if you know, and you live from the place of, I am a spiritual being having a human incarnation. I am spirit first. You will understand the intuitive way of living. You will understand that you can't live by appearances alone, that man cannot live by bread alone. You will understand that resurrection isn't just about rising from the dead and death and stepping out of the tomb. It's a season, it's a reality, it's a frequency. And you will live by this truth. I'm going to have us do a little call and response. In your space, you can speak these words. I am a spiritually activated being. I am a spiritually activated being. I trust the voice within me. I trust the voice within me. I am guided. I am guided. I am supported. I am supported. I am led. I am led by spirit. I am a spiritually activated being. Beloveds, trust what you feel. Honor what you know. Build your ark and rise again and again into the truth of who you are. And like Noah, trust the voice of spirit, even if it takes you 100 years to see the proof of how spirit is guiding you. Before you see the evidence, I am a spiritually activated being having a human incarnation, and I live in resurrection frequency. That is the truth about me. That is the truth about you. And that is the truth about us. Happy resurrection season. Happy spring. Happy Easter. Happy new beginning. And so it is.